In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what it takes and what it means to support a sports organization. Hey everybody, Jacob Schmeichel here with Amateur Hour Sports. And I'm pretty sick of people, anytime I talk about why I support Manchester United or that I just simply support Manchester United, you always kind of get dirty looks associated with it. And I can, to a degree, understand why that would be the case, given, some of the fan base. I mean, I hate some of the fan base for Manchester United as a Manchester United fan. It simply has to be said. But it's kind of annoying when there's that preconceived notion about how you feel about a certain organization, how you feel about a certain team. And it goes beyond just any sort of football, soccer teams. It goes beyond that into any sport, really. And to a degree, I think you can look at some Manchester United fans being that sort of bandwagon-esque type fans. I mean, I don't think at this point in the history of Manchester United, you can really bandwagon the team the way they have been playing over the last few years. But nonetheless, still probably the biggest team in the world, biggest football team in the world, at least that is. There may be some bigger teams, like, you could talk about like the Yankees, you talk about maybe the Lakers, but for the most part, Manchester United in terms of soccer teams, they're on par with the Barcelona's, Real Madrids of the world. So I can understand to a degree why maybe there's that bandwagon stigma for Manchester United fans. Like anywhere I go, like I remember I first go to my university soccer team, I play university soccer. First time I get there, they're asking about my favorite team. I say I'm a Manchester United fan, and immediately they roll their eyes like, oh, another Manchester United fan. And to a degree, yes, again, I understand, but it goes a lot more than just picking a team. Going into supporting a team. For a lot of people like myself, it's beyond just picking a team to support. It's not just simply I chose this team, that's who I want to win every game. It goes much further than that, I feel. And being a Manchester United fan, I'm from Mississauga, Canada. If you don't know, that's near Toronto in Ontario. For people who are nowhere near this area, you could say it's basically Toronto, even though people from Toronto will get mad if I call Mississauga basically Toronto. But 30 minutes outside of Toronto in Canada, so no real location ties to Manchester United. But my mom, she was born in Yorkshire, grew up in Manchester. She's a Manchester City fan, and I know that maybe sounds not very good to have a son who's a Manchester United fan, but I think the reason I grew up a Manchester United fan and I didn't become a Man City fan is because she grew up in a household where soccer wasn't, you didn't live and die by football, soccer. It wasn't their life in the household she grew up in, so it didn't really occur to her to kind of push that upon me. And she was always kind of looking out for the happiness more so of myself rather than just simply pushing her things onto me. So for other things like, baseball, basketball, North American sports, I'm obviously home-tied. I'm near Toronto, so I'm a huge Blue Jays fan. I'm a humongous Raptors fan, as you probably already know from my first video. Humongous Raptor fan. So for the North American sports, I'm more so tied to a hometown team. And growing up, there was no soccer team in Toronto. And though now I have a big liking for Toronto FC because that is the home team for me now. The passion for United surmounts any of the other teams. I wish for the success of Manchester United more than any other sports organization. It'd be something to think about to take away the Raptors championship in order to see potentially a Champions League for Manchester United again. I think that's a decision I would make. If I could trade that Raptors championship for another Manchester United Champions League, I would take that deal. So the reason I started supporting Manchester United, I grew up in a soccer household. My dad and my mom, huge soccer fans. Every weekend, Premier League is on TV, maybe some Serie A is on TV as well. Tuesday, Wednesday, Champions League is on TV. There was soccer all the time. They wanted me to play soccer, they put me into soccer, but never really cared about soccer growing up. I played, when I was 4 or 5 years old, all the way up, and I'm still playing now. I'm 20 years old, I'm still playing, have played since I was 4 years old without taking any breaks. I live and die, I breathe and I bleed soccer. I bleed Manchester United red. And the reason for that is when I was first playing soccer, about 4 or 5 years old. I wasn't really into it. There was nothing driving me really to succeed in any sort of soccer endeavors. It was just I got there, I ran on the grass, maybe kicked the ball a couple times, and that was it. But that all changed one day when there was a Manchester United game on TV, and for some reason I was just drawn to the TV for that day. And nothing in particular about that game was just drawing me to it. It's just that's what happened that day. United were on TV. I was watching a young Cristiano Ronaldo playing for Manchester United, and for some reason that was the turning point in my life. From that point on, devoted to playing soccer, went out in that game. I did my hair up like Cristiano Ronaldo and played the best game I'd ever played in my life. That's how my parents recall it. And there are pictures of that. I certainly did gel my hair to try to resemble Cristiano Ronaldo. I have not done that since, thankfully. So that's where it all stemmed from. It stemmed from that first game I watched, and from then brought it onto the field, and I haven't looked back since. I still play soccer today. That was when I, about 15, 16 years ago, playing as a kid. And now I kind of have to credit that moment to the soccer player I became, because that kind of fueled me to get better. It drove me to be a better player because, Cristiano Ronaldo at the time, even though my idol is the big ginger back here, Paul Scholes, and also probably second on that list is Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo in that moment as a younger player was the reason that I kind of fell in love with the club, because he was a much more flashy player when he was younger. Obviously, he wasn't as good. He's an absolute goal machine right now. No doubt one of the best players ever, if not top two. So as a result of those kind of moments, that's what kind of fueled me to be a Manchester United fan, because if it wasn't for that moment, who knows if I would have ever developed that affiliation with the club. And it was kind of watching Cristiano Ronaldo in those moments that made me want to be a Manchester United fan. So, it's not about choosing your favorite team. It's about more or less your team choosing you, because the Manchester United passion and the values of the club have been entrenched within me ever since. And it kind of saddens me that those kind of earlier moments where I didn't truly appreciate the greatness of Manchester United, I was kind of too young to truly appreciate what they were doing, because they're winning the league damn near every season. If they didn't win the league, they would just win it the next year. And you could always look forward to a title push. And, they won a Champions League when I was about 8 years old. And I really couldn't truly appreciate that because of how young I was. It's getting on near a decade since the last time they won a Premier League. So it's very kind of difficult in these moments to be a Manchester United fan. But I think that's where the passion grows even deeper. To support your team through that adversity, to show that you maintain that passion for them no matter what. There's ups and downs. We'll keep the red flag flying high because Manchester United will never die. And that's how I got to live by. The passion for the team might be one of the most important things in my life. It can really change your mood. And growing up in the household where soccer was on every day certainly helped that. But it was Manchester United that fueled my passion for soccer, not just for the team, but it fueled my passion to playing, to be a fan of the sport, and that's how I became a Manchester United fan. And a lot of people may have some similar kind of stories in regarding that, but there are a lot of fake Manchester United fans. I have to acknowledge that this is one of the worst fan bases in terms of I guess the cockiness, the arrogance, and just this plain fucking stupidity that you see off a lot of Manchester United fans, if I'm going to be honest. But you got to be a realist about the situation. I think they're on the right track right now. But Manchester United is entrenched within my personal values, and it came from those kind of moments when I was younger. And that's why I started supporting Manchester United. Your team chooses you. Great man from Manchester United, Eric Cantona, once said, "You can change your wife, you can change your religion, but you can never change your football club." And I support that statement 100%. I've got a friend who could be watching right now, and he got into soccer very recently, very hardcore, and he wanted to pick a Premier League team to support. And what he did was, no disrespect to what he did here, no disrespect at all, Jack, if you're watching, love you. Put all the Premier League teams in a hat, drew out the names, and the last name standing was the team he did support. And that ended up being Wolverhampton Wanderers. So, he likes Wolves. He's got his Ruben Neves jersey and whatnot. He's a Wolves fan. But, that passion hasn't really instilled in him. At least it hasn't yet. It really hasn't sunk in that passion that, maybe other soccer fans have. Because it was really him selecting that team. But I think where the greatest amount of passion, and obviously no disrespect again, Jack's a Wolves fan, but when the team selects you more or less, like the way Manchester United selecting me, like one of my other housemates, West Ham really selected him. That's where the passion brews within you. Your life is the football club, and the successes and the failures of the football club are a part of you. It's like as if you are a part of the organization. You'll hear fans kind of referring to, and you'll hear me referring to it in any of my future videos as, we're not performing well recently. We're performing very well recently. It's as if you are a part of the football club, and that's how I feel as a passionate Manchester United fan. And certainly in the failures of the club, you'll hear a lot more passion coming out of me in front of this fucking camera. All I hope for is more success to come in the future. I think we are on the right path. In this current situation I'm in, again, I never really got to experience a championship from any of my teams up until last year. I'm Italian, so I got the World Cup in 2006. I got a Manchester United Champions League a couple of years later. Some Premier Leagues in the early 2010s, but I never really truly appreciated those sort of moments like I cherished the 2019 Raptors NBA Championship. So I hope for more in the future where I can truly understand what goes in and what it takes to really get an award such as the Champions League or as a Premier League title. Hope for those in the future, but thank you for listening. If you liked the video, please drop kick that like button to show your support to the channel, and also consider subscribing for more videos from yours truly about anything about the sporting world. It can be soccer, it can be North American sports. It's gonna be kind of all over the map. If you didn't like the video, make sure you let me know in the comments why I'm a bandwagon United fan. I'll be sure to take all your criticism in mind for my future videos. But anyways, thanks for watching, and as usual, we'll see you again next time.